See, until early this evening, the area outlined from southeast Pennsylvania into central and southern New Jersey, also extending west past the Chesapeake. But now as you get onto the west side of the Chesapeake, good news. The watch has been discontinued for areas west of the Chesapeake. It's no longer in effect for Baltimore City, Prince Frederick, and Leonardtown, and portions of the northern neck of Virginia. So if you live in Essex, King and Queen, King William, Lancaster, Middlesex, Northumberland, Richmond, or Westmoreland County in Virginia, you no longer are under the severe thunderstorm watch. Likewise in Maryland, if you live in Anne Arundel, southern Baltimore County, including the city, Calvert, Harford, or St. Mary's County, also out of the severe thunderstorm watch. But here's what's happening. We have a line of very intense storms moving into southern Delaware. In southern Delaware, in Sussex County, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the county right there, and you can see why. A very large cluster of severe storms. This particular cluster has had a history of producing hail 1/2 to 1.5 inch in diameter. Now the storms are moving east at approximately 35 miles an hour, and we do expect that since there is a fair amount of low-level moisture coming from the south and heading even into southern New Jersey, these storms that you see moving through southern Delaware and also up in the northern reaches of the state, these storms will continue to move east-northeast and should continue to maintain their intensity to some degree as they cross Delaware Bay. So if you live in southernmost New Jersey, stand by. You're under the weather watch, and also, as you can see on the radar to your west, there's a good reason for it. Those storms look quite intense. Farther north, southeast corner of Pennsylvania, you can see some of these storms. They stretch on down towards Wilmington, Delaware. Now for Harrisburg, you're out of it. The rain has pushed to your east, so have the thunderstorms. Philadelphia Metro, we need to watch very carefully. There are some interesting things going on with the winds at the low levels of the atmosphere around southeast Pennsylvania and adjacent west central New Jersey. To make a long story short, there is perhaps a little bit of an enhanced potential, an increased probability that we could see additional severe storms developing. And as you notice, within the past 20 minutes or so, just west and southwest of Trenton, New Jersey, indications of some intensifying thunderstorms. We have fairly brisk northeast winds coming down across northern Jersey, meeting up with southerly winds coming in from Delaware, and it's along this wind shift zone that we need to watch carefully, because with this line moving east and interacting with that zone, there could be a big flare-up in some of the intensity of these storms over the next, well, let's say next 45 minutes to about an hour and a half. Farther north in southern New England, some storms off the coast of Little Rhodey heading up towards Cape Cod, Horseneck Beach. You probably get some very heavy rain and possibly some smaller hail with these storms. They're not of the intensity that we're dealing with farther south. Now, a big reason for all of this severe weather, low pressure in west central New York with the trailing cold front coming into eastern Pennsylvania. Notice to the south, these are the tops of these thunderstorms that have reached about 45,000 feet or so in southeast Pennsylvania and northern Delaware. We're still looking down to the south. There are storms affecting the tidewater in Virginia. We've had several reports of hail and some gusty winds. In fact, for folks who live in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 15.
Day planner.
Storms. Reason why: we have a front moving on in, a jet stream adding some very strong winds to the atmosphere and energy, and some warm air. All these conditions coming together to destabilize the atmosphere. In other words, just more favorable for thunderstorm development. 68, a warm day in Philadelphia, 65 in D.C. The temperature sort of done this. It's climbed up, made it well into the 70s, dropped way down with the thunderstorms, and now inching back up again. Here's our satellite photograph showing thunderstorms heading across northern Delaware, central Delaware. A few thunderstorms down toward the Tidewater, Virginia. We've been sort of watching this little tail right here into northern North Carolina to see if any storms will fire up, but you may actually escape the thunderstorms that Virginia and Maryland and Delaware and southern Pennsylvania have seen today. Also a little cluster just to the east of Montauk. These lifting up toward Narragansett Bay and up to Martha's Vineyard out toward the Cape. Generally just some rain, maybe a clap of thunder. Thunderstorms now beginning to develop in central New Jersey and North Philly. Heaviest of the storms have been near the city and especially South Philadelphia, right down to Wilmington, crossing the Delaware into New Jersey and out down to around Cape May. There's some nasty storms moving through at the present time. Look at this line sweeping across Delaware, Rehoboth Beach all the way down to Ocean City, Maryland. That is where the line is. It's right across Salisbury, and I suspect the storms, the worst of the conditions, probably out of Salisbury, but if you're watching this from some of the beach areas, just really watch out because these are nasty storms here. Winds could gust anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour, and there could be some golf ball size hail. These storms will be out of the way shortly, and
here's the setup. The low is actually here. There's another weak low that has formed over extreme southern New Jersey, and that probably is aiding those thunderstorms a little bit as they cruise into the southern part of the Garden State. The satellite view shows you the storm cluster over southeastern Virginia around the Tidewater, and it is hot in North Carolina. Temperatures climbing into the 90s in some locations.
Evening and yesterday evening. So this storm started producing severe weather in the plains 2 days ago, dropped a lot of tornadoes yesterday, producing damage from Indiana, Kentucky into the central Tennessee area, and today it's racing off the coast. So we'll only have severe weather associated with us for probably another hour or maybe two, and then things should really quiet down. So it's just ahead of this front. Really around Maryland, eastern Pennsylvania, and into New Jersey that we're seeing the strongest thunderstorms at this hour. Now, our severe weather outlook covers that area with the red that you see here. We've also had a few strong storms and even some damage reported down in Florida with some thunderstorms, so we may occasionally get a report of severe weather here. And then back in Texas, we have this red area where there's really not much going on as of yet, but we think that may develop into the later evening hours as the next front actually comes into this area, and we'll see those thunderstorms triggered, we think, within the next few hours. So we may get a little lull between active zones. First off, into the northeast, this watch remains in effect. Southeastern Pennsylvania has been taken out of it. The threat of severe weather is over for you. But from New Jersey, across Delaware, Maryland, and into Virginia, still the thought of severe thunderstorms. And you can see here, now notice this, you can see the thunderstorm clouds. They're pretty much out of Virginia, so it looks like you're in good shape. Moving across the Salisbury area, reporting heavy hail in the past hour. We have reports in some locations of hail that covered the ground of 2 to 3 inches in depth, and up to golf ball size hail with these thunderstorms. So we're going to see some large hail coming through Delaware and looks like into New Jersey at this time. This is more of a steady rain. Has been heavy at times as you go up into Martha's Vineyard, reporting heavy rain this past hour. Hartford, a very wet day out through Long Island. Rain on the eastern end of the island at this point. But our strongest thunderstorms appear to be with this line right through here in Camden County in New Jersey. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect at this time. We can go a little bit closer, and you can see really looks like just southeast of Philadelphia. Thunderstorms here moving to the east-northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Now, even though the warnings are really with this cluster of storms right through here, these look intense as well. So don't wait for a warning before you take cover from these thunderstorms. We've had a lot of reports of damage today, wind and hail damage with these thunderstorms. In addition to that, heavy rain and lightning will be a threat. We're looking better here down through the Carolinas. And look like south-central New Jersey, heading toward the coast in a very big hurry. Looks like we have about 2 more hours, perhaps, worth of severe weather here, and then we'll have some rain into the late evening hours. Rain and thunderstorms have also been present in Florida and are expected to develop in Texas. That's why we have the green dot.